SMT. Yo, this is crazy, bro. First life in months. We're finna see how it goes. Focus on key interaction. God. Alright. Finna move my chat over there. We finna look at Nasdaaq. I really need to clear up most things. Clear up most things I probably won't see looking outwards, right? Start on the weekly. Looking for levels that we can see. We're also at new highs, bro. That's what we're gonna start at. We got a low here that was touched. Came back for this gap, but that was inverted. Since it was on the daily, it's a little bit more important. I feel like all these levels are done for just because it's so low below price. So we got another low about right there. Definitely want to see that last week's lows right here. We'll even mark this up here. Previous week's low. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna see if any of these levels matter anymore. This one's pretty cool, but kind of inverted now. We got that high here. I see a struggle with this high here too. We'll mark this up. This is the last order block. This is all color coordinated for me. I'm gonna do 4-hour order block. See if price wants to come back for that. We do have a gap here, but we're going to ignore that for now. And that's basically the most we can see for Nasdaq before the open. You can see levels down here. We go basically straight price action, right? So 27,000 could be a range that we could see it reach for. Which I'm gonna do a ray. One of these. See if price wants to continue going the same direction that it's been going. I'm sure that jumped all the way from 24,000 all the way to 26,700, damn near 50 in a week. So 300 more points isn't too far off, especially when you're looking at a forex mindset. That could happen quick. So we'll do there a little bit of quarter level theory. We'll just place one there, place one here. Edit them. I wonder if I can expand this mug just perfectly. Where y'all can see the price. Know what I'm about to do? Let me crop the screen real quick, y'all. Just had an original event. I wonder if it's the music. Crop. Let's crop this out. Let's see if we can crop a little bit of this left side out. I'm hoping this will help you guys see my screen, what I'm doing a little bit more, because at this point, it's so zoomed out, you can't see nothing. Expand it a little bit more. If I could just get to where, I guess I'm going to trade like that, huh? There we go, that works. Let me just expand it a little bit more. That works. All right, so we got the weekly high, previous last week's high. We're just gonna look for if we want to continue the trend, if it wants to reverse. We got a little order block it could come back for. I'm not gonna span that too far. We got 1 hour order block. We got a balanced price range. So we got levels above, level below that we can see it going for. So that's what we're gonna see on Nasdaq on open. Just see where it wants to go, where it's gonna open, and so forth. Now gold. I didn't even go past the 4 hour on there, right? Gold, I'm gonna have so much marked up. Which all these blue lines basically my levels I had. Um, Everything else in between. It's gonna be some trades I took. A lot of craziness. So I believe if I can't remark it up, then it wasn't that important anyway. So get rid of this. Cool. So you can see a lot of these just right at like key point levels. Got 4,000, 4,025, 4,500, 4,750, 5K, 5.5K, and so forth. So it just kind of like levels, major key levels I look at that price may want to hit and reverse off of or what it wants to do there. So weekly, we can see we hit a low here, got highs here. It's within this big old gap right here. So price may struggle to even get outside of this range here. We can see if it wants to break out of it, if it wants to reverse within it, keeps dropping, which with everything that's going on, I'm figuring that fundamentally gold is going to be more bullish. So I have to look at that with that type of mindset. But first, we got to see what the market wants to tell us. We ain't gonna force it. So I'm gonna start with the weekly previous low. So last week's low about here. Previous week's low. Previous week's high. All right. Make it on top. Welcome everybody that's joining. We're looking at gold just now. Um, we got a lot to look at here. Price been within this range a lot. And we're looking at what happened within like last couple of weeks, right? There's playing with Iran. I think a lot of that affect gold, it affect silver, especially oil as well. It's all about oil. So, um, we're going to see what this week looks like now. They finally opened it. It looked like most of that tension's over. Um, but who knows? Anything could pop up at any time. We do have news on Tuesday. Nothing too crazy. I think like a couple red folders, so something that could push the market just a little bit. But nothing too crazy. We can still get in and out with our money, right? So that's what we're gonna look for. I even reached all the way down here, wick. So we do have like a lot of wicks down here, even all the way from here. We can see um, price just did not want to close below there, so sellers try to push it. Um, but failed to actually close below there. So that's an area where we got 3, 4. Technically got reached here, right? It got grabbed here. So I'm gonna go about here. That's just something we could see. I wouldn't even count that there. I want to look for order block. We got an order block up here. This is the last green candle before that downtrend. I'll go with the wicks. So it's gonna be a daily order block. I'm gonna make it yellow because I feel like everything is color coordinated towards the time frame I'm on. So I'm gonna look at that. Something above it could react off of, want to play with. Um, I can see there's like this liquidity here where like it stayed above 5K, then it eventually dropped. So I bet there's gonna be some type of order block, something here on a lower time frame. I bet. So I kind of just want to give notice to that. We're gonna see what's over here on a lower time frame. I'll probably move that circle, but just for the cause of this live, we're gonna see what that wants to do. It's a little sketchy down here. We can see gaps here. I'm gonna keep this there, see what it was actually below there. What y'all looking at this week, man? Y'all, anybody looking for gold trading? Looking for Nasdaaq? Gonna go 4 hour. Gonna mark up this volume gap right there. So we do see here, right around that exactly 5,000. It really played with this level. Wasn't much of a support. It broke right past it right away, but other brokers it made like stay above. But I think eventually, especially with this like damn near doji candle right there, damn near shooting star candlestick right there, it really broke off right there. Once you see like buyers really like died out right there, couldn't push it above no more, especially with that bearish engulfing here happening. Bullish dying out there. This is probably going to be a strong resistant point. So price gets back up here. We can expect it to not necessarily reverse, but we can expect it to like at least react off of it, right? Like it may do what it does. If it comes up here to this price, we may see it like bounce around before it decides to go up or decides to react, right? So we're gonna see what the candlesticks tell us there. I I listen a lot to the candlesticks. Like when I actually get an entry and look what I'm getting into, but I'm actually looking at what the candlesticks do more than anything. So I like that candlestick confirmation. Not so much of a um pattern type or this or that. It's like what is the candlesticks telling us, right? Like it's gonna say where the buyers are dying out, where the sellers are dying out, where they're entering, where they're getting in. We can start to see higher highs here. All right, so even from this low, we got a new high, right? Technically, this is the previous high. So this is still a downtrend. Like it's from here, it's still down. It still reached this new high. And they came down, right? A little bit of retracement, another new high. You could say this was technically a low. It looks like this closed higher than the previous high. And from there, we just consolidated. It ain't moving too much in price action. So that's probably like Friday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, it started to go a little bit somewhere. But so in terms of that, we're technically in uh, a bullish trend now. With our last low, I think this is last week's low. Yeah, I messed that up. I looked at the wrong low. So this was last week's. I got to mark 2 weeks. So this is the previous week's low. We want to look at that area for see if it wants to go for that as a target. We can see rejections off of this 475 area. We got an order block here. Has already reacted off this. Almost, right? So I don't know how pitch perfect that is. Technically to the wick, right? We look at the wick of that last green candle before the strong bearish move. It kind of closed right with it. It wicked above. It looks like it closed inside, but that's like to the exact point. So I don't know if that's gonna be pitch perfect or not. Technically, that's a good closure for it to be bearish, though. So I will look more so because it reacted off that. I will look more so for this one right here. Just the body, right? The body of that last green candlestick before it decided to drop. I'll make it green for the 4-hour time frame. And this is just another area where we can see possible rejection or even just confluence to be like, okay, yeah, this mug still is bullish. If it passes and closes above this area, then we know it's definitely bullish. So closure above this would definitely be bullish. But let's say price, because it's the weekend right, is still not open. Let's say price opens up here, anywhere here. We would still want to see that closure from where last week ended to where it's going to open up here, down here, wherever it is. We probably want to see it close that gap, just like it did here, right? The beginning of last week, it closed about here, or it opened up here, but then that previous Friday, it closed down here. So it wicked a little bit, it went down still, but then it closed that gap immediately, which will look like that. So this was like all that price didn't even um, just left the gap. Where on a smaller time frame, you'll see that like there's no price within this area. Just like here, there's another gap. There's a gap here, so that's like a double volume imbalance. We can definitely see price wanted to get this area, which this is just a midweek um, volume gap. Where probably in the middle of the day when it closed around like 4 p.m. Central Time, it just left that gap. So we can see volume imbalance. Once again, I'm not one of those where it's like it's gonna reach this price and then reverse. I'm more so like, you know what? It it's either liquidity or imbalance that price is gonna go for. And once it reaches this area, let me delete this area or arrow, right? Once it reaches this area, then it's gonna tell us does it want to reverse and use that as support to keep going up? Is it gonna break through, come back and retest it to keep shooting down? That's how I use all these volume imbalances to see what it wants to do, right? I'm not going to be like, okay, once it gets here, it's going to buy up from here. We can look for entries here. Nah, I wait for it to get there and then let it tell me what it wants to do from there. So I'm definitely going to scale down even more from the 4-hour. Right now, I want to make sure I got everything. I think this is a little bit more of a stronger area. Just because this is going to be a major key level, right? 5,000. It's a flat out. That's going to have a lot of impact. There's like order blocks and consolidations in there. Even on a smaller time frame, we'd probably be able to see more candlestick formation. So I'm just mark this whole area up and just be like, okay, this is the major key level. Just because I already drew things up, I'm gonna just leave it like that just because I know it don't have to get exactly to 5,000. It could get up to like 4,980 in reverse, right? Or even play with it and then shoot through. So we'll see what it wants to do when it gets to that area, not to that exact point, right? Don't have to get exactly to 5,000. Get all the way to even the middle of this fair value gap and want to reverse from it, right? So if it gets up here and want to reverse, that's something it could do. So we're gonna wait for it to get to about that area, see what it wants to do. More so bullish trend. I really think gold is gonna keep going up, but we're gonna kind of play devil's advocate, see what it wants to do if it didn't. I want to expand that a little bit, but I like how it reacted off of that 4-hour order block, more on the 2-hour. So I go straight from the 4-hour to 2-hour, 1 hour. I'll peep at the 30 just to see if there's anything I may miss, then straight to the 15. 4-hour right there, we can see how it didn't even want to close within it. It wicked above, closed below, wicked on the bottom, shot down, went for this little imbalance right here. I want to see if there's any more imbalance. We definitely got sell side here. Thing about gold is that there's always going to be like liquidity below, but it never has to go for it. We zoom back out. 2 hours fine. We're not going to change. Um, change time frames, but Like, let's see, we got technically liquidity here that was never reached. SSO here. We got more wicks here that was never touched. We got this low. We got these. Came back for this gap, just barely. Um, we got these wicks. One, two, three. Never came back for it. Reduced it. Came for these wicks though, right? We got one, two, three, four wicks where it came back for that sell side. Opened up a little bit lower, and last week it started here, but went all the way up, left a lot down here that price has not came back for. So we can see quick movement where it may grab all this liquidity in one day and then just reverse up real quick. So we're gonna see how it wants to play off. I'm very I would say I'm like reactive to how it wants to play. I'm not gonna like it's the more you force it, the more you gotta worry about. So especially in the futures mindset, you don't want to force no entries. Might as well get that sniper entry. Still on the 2 hours, we see this gap. I'm not gonna mark that up. We got sell side here, just because I feel like within recent price, this is where the majority of price has been. So I'm not really looking for anything within here. Let's see if it wants to get outside here or down here, right? Depending on where it opens up, it could open up already up here. If it did open up higher, that'd be awesome because it's gonna open up above this order block and hopefully it comes down to close where it's at here, and we can see it continue up. So from there, 1 hour. See anything more we can see on the 1 hour. All the way from here, you just got all these fair values. We got levels above we can reach for. At some point, I get to my pre-market analysis. I'm just like, all right, we gotta see where it opens up at. I see this long movement here and this double volume imbalance. I don't see it dropping that low, but like it could get down there. It looked like it was starting to push that way before it closed on Friday. We can see where it wants to keep going. In terms of candlesticks, what I see on this, I said the last thing we got is this last red candlestick that we could mark as order block. Was this 1 hour order block? We'll mark it as blue just because blue is more so what I look for on the 4 hour. I mean 1 hour, right? Green's gonna be 4 hour, blue's gonna be 1 hour. There goes gold. So I mean the closure analysis is gonna be obviously more so looking for continual bullish trend. We know it's getting a little bit shaky. The stuff with Iran is mostly over. We're gonna see if that tension comes back. Areas below we will look for to see how it wants to react. It's definitely this volume imbalance. There's price where price didn't fill this area twice. We got this 4750 area right here where it's just another major key level. It reacted off of 5,000 earlier pretty heavy, so we want to see it get back up there. We're really playing within this range, 4.5k and 5k. That's the range we're really playing in. It just shot down past that to get here, right? All the way down. We even got to 4,250, and now it's back up above 4,750. So I would like to see it get at least up to here and then react maybe for more of a stronger retracement before even continuing back up above 5,000. But for the most part, we're going to see where it opens up, see how it wants to close that gap that it leaves over the weekend, and let the rest tell us. So we'll have to be back probably Monday, see what it wants to do. I'm not going to be trading tonight. My first trading session is Monday morning. That's gold for you guys. How you guys feel about that? Y'all need anything else from gold? What question y'all got for me? I'm gonna start looking at Bitcoin if anyone writes anything. Start from the weekly. I have not looked at Bitcoin for so long. Um, it filled whatever that was before. Got some old analysis. You know what's crazy? XRP is where I rather look at XRP because it did some crazy stuff. I gotta show y'all. If y'all ever hear or want to come up with a great example of a CRT, man, XRP had a phenomenal one. It was somewhere around, I think, this area, right? I kind of just kept drawing up more and more CRT. So this was a CRT, but I want to show y'all the other one. So this is all the way back on the monthly time frame, right? That's why it's red. Red is gonna be my monthly, what I see on the monthly. So this large gap right here, where prices went all the way up, and the next candlestick didn't take much of its body. I left that as the monthly fair value gap. Which I mean, on the monthly time frame, you kind of got to respect that, bro. Especially XRP, it hasn't done that since what 2017. So I was like, okay, that's something I'm definitely gonna be looking at weekly now. And this was back like the end of last year that I saw this example of a perfect CRT. So CRT is basically, if you look, this candlestick went all the way below this previous candlestick, right? Wicked it below it, but then closed inside of this body. So that right there is going to be a bearish one. Or yes, because that would be the turtle soup. So never mind, it's going to be bullish, right? Somewhere within there. It doesn't look perfect. I think it was bullish. It was bullish. It was bullish. Yeah, yes. Technically, the turtle soup would be the um, fake out, right? So this was the turtle soup where it wicked out below, closed back above. Um, and this has nothing to do with current price, but it was just like, bro, I made like 8,000 off of this last CRT, so I got to go back to it. I should do replay mode, make it a little bit cleaner, but somewhere in there, right, where this gray line be the bottom of it. I think right here is where I saw that fair value gap. I'm like, okay, I want to see it retrace back into it. Have it marked up. CRT retracement candlestick 4 hour. I don't know why I keep zooming in. The words don't get bigger, but that's what it says right there. CRT retracement candlestick 4 hour. FUG's caught below. So basically, um, they have like 8 different entry models, but one of it is like when it does a turtle soup and then it goes up. When it comes back, look for certain things like how it does a piercing candle. I think model 3 or 4 is like finding FVG it created and seeing if it retests it. So I seen that retest it. I got in that clean entry right there. And I mean, so if I got in somewhere around here, bruh, for a buy, look how that mug shot off. Man, it was crazy. And obviously my stop loss probably like it could either be below there, below here. This was like more of a forex trade, so I was able to hold it for multiple days. And it ended up being like 8K. Once I got that much, bro, I just closed out. I was like, I'm cool, bro. I think somewhere around here where it was just playing around, it wasn't shoot off too much. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna take my profits. So that's what it did. Basically, full CRT, your full profit is gonna be the high of whatever that previous candlestick that it turtle soup, which I think was this orange line. It doesn't go any higher. So I mean, if I was able to catch all of this up here, even that's even more profit. So came back, used that top of that candlestick as support to even keep pushing up higher, grabbing some liquidity. So but around there, like I was like already above TP and I took that. So that was back in January, December. I got that all marked up within my Instagram and my Discord, but that was just one great example of XRP. And there was another one somewhere around here that I eventually marked up and just deleted. But if y'all go look at Romeo PTP, he's like the creator of CRT. He's on YouTube, Romeo PTP. He'll explain CRT for you. I use that as a major strategy because that's like bulletproof. Like the only time I've seen it not work is when you find a CRT against the overall trend, right? So this was a bullish one, and obviously by time price it here, it was already bullish. And then whatever I just deleted, it was like a bearish one because obviously price lower lows, lower highs. So it's okay. Even got a nice little retracement up, and then I found that CRT somewhere around there. It's not current price, so I'm not gonna go over it, but I think XRP, if you like back test CRTs on it, you will find perfect examples. And this was all the way from the end of 2024 and another one that happened around January of this year. So I feel like CRT is more so under the tables, not like the average traders really know it unless you're more so following like the ICT people. But basically, CRT stands for Candlestick Range Theory. It was made by one of the students of ICT, and I guess he takes credit for it all. And I studied whatever videos he had, and I went and I seen it perfectly on what the weekly of the XRP. So I'm like, okay, if that was on the weekly time frame, then like it got to be golden. So this was the technically the candle that got CRT'd, right? And then this candlestick opened right where it closed. It wicked the low outside of this candlestick, but then closed inside. So from there, we will find another entry down here. And I think it took like 2-3 weeks. That's why it threw me off because it actually took a couple weeks to actually find that entry because it played below where this candlestick closed for so long where it's like, okay, I can't find that better entry. But eventually I did. I did on the 4 hour. You want to convert that 1 week to the 4 hour and go from there. So that was like a perfect strategy. This is another one, right? Good green candlestick up here. This one opened here, closed down here, but it wicked all the way above, but still closed within this candlestick. So this is the weekly on the XRP. If you wanted to go back and look at how that CRT is going to look or work out, this is like a perfect example, right? This would be the CRT high, CRT low. This would be that turtle soup. So if you know what turtle soup is, oh my gosh, perfect. And you can see that's what it played into now. So that's why I don't go back and look at XRP because I haven't been on cryptos for the last 2 or 3 months. But man, for CRT, if you guys ever want to get like some real ball game right there, that's where I would start. So right now we got this huge monthly fair value gap. We got small ones here. It looks like it's starting to reject it. We got a lot of wicks here. Price isn't too strong. It's a little bit slower, right? Like you see, I'm still on the weekly right now. I can see price rejecting this area. So we got a little bit of rejections. Mm, it could technically it's in consolidation, right? It hasn't really closed outside of this price for a while. So I want to see a buy opportunity here nor here, and I wouldn't want to sell within there either. Like even if I got it here, I wouldn't want to sell that because it could manipulate up too high, higher than I want to. Even grab these highs here. You don't want to set a stop loss here, and then it goes grab that or even rejects off of this high, that fair value gap, and sells off. So I will wait to see what price really tells me what it wants to do. It looks like the Scholastic Oscillator saying that it's ready for more buys. That's just because there's two dojis, and then it took off, closed pretty strong, bullish last week. So I can see it going for this high right here. We got the last green candles before it sold off, pretty strong. And below, we got liquidity you can look at below, but it's still within this range. So I would wait for it to get out of this range. Personally, I don't like traded ranges. You can if you want to, take your own risk, trade your own ways, but I would wait for it to get out of this range and tell me the overall trend, right? I like to catch the whole move, so until it gets out of this range, I would not look for entries nowhere in here, unless you're like deep scalper. If you're scalping, I mean, you could catch something quickly on a 1 minute time frame, but that's what I see for XRP. How y'all feel about that one, man? Let me know if this making sense or y'all got any questions. I'm hoping I can see the comments, but I don't see any. Okay. Bitcoin, I still got too much marked up. I haven't really cleared my screens. You can see price had something reversed off here. Came up, right? Low, kind of equals highs. Lower low, breaking all this low. More lows. And it had a nice uptrend. From here, right? High, lower lower high, lower low. Then it had this little bullish structure, but it didn't break this last high. So that's technically still bearish. Down here, bearish. Now we're starting to see rejections, but this is technically the last high. Okay. It reached this target. I was waiting for it to reach this target to see what it would do. But it literally shot past that and played within it to the point where I don't really want to see that no more. I don't want to see that. I don't see that. This is a weekly box here because I know it's red. So I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna delete that. High of 2024. So that's just the high of last year. I'm gonna keep that. I played all around this range a lot because it kept like wicking here. So I got the 93 level marked up. 100K, which it doesn't really react off too much. I'm just looking for major key levels right there, right? 112 reacted off a lot. 124 is where I like to make a lot of highs. This green candlestick was probably some order block. We're gonna look more to that 4 hour green, so I'm gonna wait for the 4 hour. But this is the last high I see. Right, all these wicks. So this is gonna be buy side liquidity. If price wants to buy up right now, there's liquidity above for where it could want to go. Of course, we got this order block, we got this gap, we got another gap. Technically got this order block here. See if it's strong enough to push through. Right now, we see rejections off of that. Technically, Bitcoin's open right now, so not ideal. It's kind of doing the same thing where it's ranging, right? I wouldn't want to look for any entries within this area because it's just been so back and forth. Like, imagine if you got a buy or sell around here. Look how many times you would have been a drawdown. Even if you was in sales, even if you were in buy. Anywhere within this box, right? It's just like you see price playing around in one area for so much. I look to at least get like a little turtle soup, a little manipulation candlestick to see which way it wants to go. So right now, kind of breaking out the consolidation to the top side, but it's reacting off this last green candlestick before in the middle of that downtrend, right? So, it probably wants to get back in this range. We could find liquidity. We got 3 wicks there. You can count this as liquidity. I want to count this order block. Order block already been tested twice. A third time off of this little order block, or not order block, just this imbalance of fair value. It already wicked twice, so if it comes for a third time, right? That's gonna be the last rejection because any more than three, it's gonna break through. So we're gonna look see if it wants to reject off of that to keep going higher and break this order block that we got on the daily, or if it's gonna go lower. Appreciate you liking the live, brother. Let's go down to 4 hours, see what we got on the below price. Right, so 4 hour fair value gap. Always want to look at where price, what price did at current price previously. Right, so if price used to be around this area, I'm gonna look at what it did last time. So this was just the gap, the lowest one, and it actually reacted off of this. Could also count this as a order block. We'll see if anything happened around here, but this is just that fair value that marked up on the 4 hour, which it actually reacted off of from all the way since October 2024. Bitcoin is still reacting off of price level around there. I don't think we need this anymore. We can see lows. I can mark up each low, see what it's doing, but technically for the route of what it did mostly. So that order block that I marked up, it actually closed right above it. It wicked it, but it closed right above what I just marked up with that blue ray. So I don't want to draw a box all the way from 2024, but you can see 2026 February, it's still reacting off of price levels from 2024. So you always want to see what it did last time it was in that price range. So that seemed like strong support. It reacted off that order block. It came back, reacted off of the fair value gap twice. I like both of these closers here. We got a wick, then a little candlestick, then a strong bullish one. This is basically a bullish reversal. Came up, broke that last high. Didn't break this high though, which technically is in a range. Um, Came back for it. You can see the same thing, right? A nice down candlestick, small, almost doji candlestick, and then 3, 4 candlestick strong, right? So this one wasn't too strong because it didn't outdo this candlestick. But that second one, with even being longer and stronger, it really killed that sell momentum, especially with the sellers dying out right here. You can see almost like an indecision candlestick, and then getting strong bullish. So it really took off that direction. That's where it started to break all the highs before. So this is a really strong support. It made a new high, it broke all of these previous highs made here. Rather, any of these highs you want to count, there, that one, this one, it broke all of those highs. So this is where we started to see more of a, uh, now we're more so getting bullish with it, came back, made a low, technically broke this low, but we have more lows that it didn't break, so you can still count it as bullish. Came back, made another new high, higher low, and then we started to break some of those lows here. Looked like we got equal lows. It wicked, got grabbed any liquidity here. In terms of this support level, we're still pretty strong there. So if we was to count this low, it has not broken that low. Made a new high since it made a new low here, right? That was a strong close above the last close. And then created fair value gaps. Now it's respecting. So now we're in between this daily fair value gap. I know we're on the 4 hours, so you can't really see it. And then this was, I believe, a daily order block. We'll go back to the daily to see. But since it's on the daily, we just know that's strong. By the time we get to like the 5 minute, 15 minute, we're going to want to know what the daily is doing, right? The daily rejection level is. So rejected off of here, we can see either use this as support again for a third time, hopefully break past this order block, or we're gonna see maybe what it wants to do. But like I said a few times, I like to react to what price is telling me. So whatever it wants to do, that's why I'm gonna move. All right. So that was Nasdaq, we did gold, we did Bitcoin, we even did XRP. If y'all name any forex pairs, we can see a little pre-market analysis from there. If y'all want to do gold or anything, or not gold, but oil or any other Any other chart you want to see me mark up, see what I got for it, analysis, go ahead and drop in the comments and I'll go over it real quick. Rather than that, that's basically what I'm gonna call it for a Sunday pre-market. I appreciate everyone joining, tuning in, even if you just seen this on your feed and just want to check out what I'm talking about. Maybe it's nonsense. Maybe some of y'all like, oh wow, this dude actually pretty he know what he talking about. I like this a little bit more. We're gonna redefine this to 1 hour. 1 hour OB. Why I like that? Because it's the last red candlesticks before it go up. So kind of just redefining it. Make it blue since it's more of a 1 hour area than a daily. It's still within the daily fair value gap. So I may just keep that so I know that it's a little bit stronger. But if I was to look at the daily, right, I would want the most precise area because where I had it before, if I go back, right, price really played within this area, right? But it's a little bit more precise the smaller time frame you get. Now you can see you're only wicked off of that 1 hour too, these bodies here. Awesome. We got another one here. I like this one because it's close to where price is at right now. If I was to trade this, I would really want to look for a trade on Tuesday, ride something up. Hopefully it's bullish, but I'm gonna let it tell me what it wants to do. You know, I do have a bias and try to have like a sense of a trend, but end of the day, until I know like, okay, this is where it wants to buy from, I'm not gonna be like, see it dropping here as it makes a lower high and be like, oh, I'm looking for a buy still. No, we catch a nice sell somewhere, even if it like, let's say price, right, got here, broke below, came back, retested it. We could look for sells here, catch this move, which is all hypothetical, right? Catch this move somewhere here and see if we can catch this sell before price decides that it wants to go back up and test this daily order block. So that's something I will look for, you know. Even when you got a trend, you can still find moves within the move, especially future traders, right? You can catch sells in an uptrend, you can catch buys in the downtrend. I want to look back at this daily order block on the 1 hour and see if there's anything more precise I can mark up. So we kind of got this order block. It's in the middle here. I don't know if I want to do this small one here, over here. Let's see. This one is on Tuesday. It's Tuesday 9. Tuesday at 6. Tuesday at 1:12. So this would be kind of New York open. This session opened at the market open. This is super precise. This one is a little bit bigger. I do like this one because that's where most of the downtrend happened. I guess I should mark up that one, right? You want to do the last green candlestick before it drops off. Plus it played into that one a bit. So I don't think I like that one too much. Just because this green candlestick closed within this green candlestick. So it's technically not the last green candlestick before down. So we're going to move this to blue for the 1 hour instead of the daily. And then just call it 1 hour. And we're going to look at price right now, see how that played out. We do have liquidity above. So we look at this area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wicks. So definitely got buy side liquidity above. I'm gonna go to a higher time frame and zoom or drag that over. But now that we remade that order block, a little bit more precise. Same thing. Even though we made it a little bit smaller, it's still closed within it, didn't close above. So wicked above, didn't close above. So that's what I'm gonna pay attention to. We do have liquidity above here to see if we can drag it over. Try to make it as straight as line as possible. This is where we got some buy side liquidity. All those wicks I could come up for. So yeah, we're gonna see how it wants to play off of these levels. Hopefully, it wants to come up. But we're gonna let it tell us what it wants to do, right? Don't chase, let it tell you what it want to do, react off of it. That's what keeps you from gambling. Just react for what price is telling you. So appreciate everyone tuning in. That was almost an hour long. So I am on Discord, real on Instagram. I'm drop the Instagram if y'all want to see kind of more trading. Or get involved in our live trading session. Um, I usually do voice in Discord or go Zoom calls. I just went live on TikTok for about second time ever. So we'll see what TikTok is talking about since some of y'all algorithms tapped in. But yeah, man, drop a follow so I can follow y'all back and we get to this money.